Hey guys, B Twice here. Today is Sunday, August 8th. I hope everybody is having a good weekend. We're going to be taking a look at wave theory analysis on AMD and NVDA, two stocks that I am still bullish on in the short term as the market is starting to find a top. So we're going to start off by looking at AMD. Obviously, AMD's had a very, very powerful move. We've been following this stock for a couple months now, and I've been talking about how I see it going to 115 plus. But now that we've had our move to the upside, we can get some clarity on where exactly it appears to be going. So we can kind of tell where we should really be careful and be taking profits and what we could potentially be seeing. So going back a couple weeks or so, or a couple months, I mean, it looks like back on May 14th, we had pulled down to find our wave 4 bottom at the $73 range. So since we found that wave 4 bottom, we had a 5-wave move to the upside to give us a higher degree wave 1. We pulled back for our wave 2 bottom, and this is right in the range where we were really starting to follow this name, and I was looking for all-time highs. So with that being said, we pulled down for a 2, and now we've had this massive rally up for this wave 3. Um, Now this is a wave 3 of a blue wave 3. And that's why it was a massive move to the upside. So basically what we're seeing is that now that we've topped for our wave 3, which as you can see, it peaked right at the 161.8% extension. So very common for a wave 3. What you do is you take an extension of you go from where wave 1 started up to 1, pull it down from 2, and then you extend from there. And you can see we hit the 161.8 exactly. Now we're in a 3-wave move to the downside. What I see is that we're going to probably see a little bit more downside to start off the week, and that's going to be a great dip buy spot because that's going to be our wave 4 bottom. It's going to be somewhere between 107 and 99, so it could go all the way down to 100 depending on how volatile this is. I don't really think it'll go that low. I probably think it would bounce off the 107 range if it even gets there, but I do see us going a little bit lower. From there, we should get a really nice rally, and we should be going up for a wave 5 or this blue wave 3 price target of about 131 a share before ultimately we get rejected. What I'm seeing is that once we get rejected up there and we're heading down for our wave 4 bottom, that we should catch support at this uptrend line because that uptrend line falls right in between the 23.6 and the 38.2. So I would see it going all the way down, probably to the uptrend line or maybe a little bit beneath it or a little bit above it before we catch support. So that would be my bull thesis on this. The bears are saying, hey, this wave 3 top's already in. It's somewhere right here. And we're going to be getting rejected to head lower, and we're going to be going down to meet this trend line sooner than later, probably within the next couple weeks. I just don't see that, but it is completely possible, so be mindful of that. But when that does happen and we do pull back to this trend line and we find this wave 4 bottom, it's going to be a great dip buy spot. Even if this ends up being top and we come down now, it'll be a great dip buy. I don't think that's the case, but if it was, from there we should catch support somewhere in this range, and then we should be heading significantly higher. Maybe we see about 150 a share, but I would be thinking that that's probably 6 months, a year down the road, and that this will probably be several months of a bleed out getting back down to this trend line. So now let's take a look at the RSI. So the RSI, we actually started having bullish divergence back here while we were finding our wave 4 bottom, as you can see from this green trend line. So we've respected this the last time we pulled down for our 2, we respected this RSI trend line. So what I see happening is I think we're going to head lower to start off this week, and there's a good chance that we'll meet that trend line before we pop up for this one last rally to the upside. So we'll keep a watch on this, but the dips do remain a buy on AMD. Okay, so let's take a look at NVIDIA and what we're seeing. So NVIDIA is a little bit further along. I still think it has some upside, but it looks like we're in the process of an ending diag right now. So let's talk about this. Okay, so right now, NVIDIA's had a very, very, very powerful move that we've seen. And I'm looking at the weekly right now. It's had a very, very powerful move that we've seen over the last like maybe 6 months or so. And basically, what we've been working on is that we've been in this blue, this cycle wave 3. Actually, it's a super cycle wave 3, and that's why it's been such a powerful move. So we've been in a cycle wave 5, so this red cycle wave 5 of this super cycle wave 3. So what we're seeing is that we're trying to get to this finishing move right now, and what I'm seeing is that we've already popped it for a 1, pull back for a 2, we popped it for a 3, we pull back for a 4, and now we're in a 5-wave impulse to the upside. And as you can see, I've drawn it looks to me that it's going to be an ending diag, which I've drawn with these trend lines. So I have this uptrend line, and then I have the top channel line, and it looks like we're creating an ending diag off this top channel line. Because what I'm seeing is that we pulled up for 1, we pulled back for a 2. We're in the process of rallying up for a 3. I think we're going to go up and we're going to hit this top channel line. It's going to be about 215 a share. From there, we should get rejected and come back to this bottom channel line, which actually should be a little bit higher off that. It should be off of the bottom of that one. So maybe somewhere in the ballpark of 208, 210, something like that. And then once we catch support there, we'll rally higher, and it should take us to right around 220, 222 a share, maybe even 225 if it gets to the end of this diagonal. From there, we're going to get rejected, and we're gonna have our wave 3 top, and we're going to bounce to the downside. Once we do get rejected, maybe it'll be a blow off top. It could take us all the way down. Even beneath this uptrend line, I would think we're going to catch support at the uptrend line. So I would favor that the bottom will be about 166 a share, and that's the 23.6% retracement. But since this is a wave 4, it could go as low as 140. So be mindful of that. So the end is coming soon in NVIDIA. It's just a matter of how high can it go. I still do think that we get to 220 before we see that, before we pull off. But we'll see what happens. The bears are thinking that, hey, no way, it's not an ending diag. Maybe we've already had a truncated 5th wave, so this yellow 5 would be here, meaning that we've already finished off the cycle and the super cycle wave 3, and that we're going to get rejected maybe early to start this week, and we're going to be heading lower. If that happens, then yeah, I would see us going down and breaking the uptrend line and probably even heading down to this 140 or even lower from there. So I'm not favoring the bear count. I am favoring the bull count. I think we're going to see this ending diag complete probably this month, maybe by the end of this month, and maybe we'll have another bloody September like we did in the past. So now let's take a look at this RSI and see what we're seeing. So the RSI is coiling as well, and so I've drawn some lines of what I think is going to happen, and it actually correlates exactly with what I think we're going to see on the ending diag. So I'm pretty convinced that this is what we'll see, and that we will see NVIDIA hit 215, then a slight pullback, and then 220, and then that will be the top. So I still think that, obviously right now NVIDIA is trading at, I don't know, what is it trading at? 202, 20. Yeah, so dips still remain a buy because there should still be a little bit more coming out of this name, and maybe it'll get a good pop off earnings before it ultimately goes down. So, all right, guys, that's what I'm seeing on AMD and NVIDIA. If you like these videos, please go ahead, hit a like and subscribe.